Hello, friends. A warm welcome once again to our YouTube channel, NEET Exam Update with Guruji English. If you're watching our video for the first time or are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe so that every important NEET update and major news reaches you first. Now let's begin today's special video without any delay. Friends, today's breaking news in the education sector is that the central government is seriously considering conducting the NEET UG exam in online mode, also called the computer-based test or CBT mode. This is not just a small change. This could be the biggest reform in the history of NEET UG. The Education Ministry has already started data analysis, trying to understand whether such a move would really benefit students or whether it may create new challenges for lakhs of aspirants. Officials say that the data is being examined from every angle: technical readiness, internet availability, electricity conditions, and how rural students will cope with this sudden shift. At the same time, the ministry is looking at the success of other exams like JEE Main, which has been conducted in CBT mode for years. But there is a huge difference between JEE Main and NEET UG. NEET UG is the largest entrance exam in India, with more than 22 lakh candidates appearing this year. This makes it one of the biggest exams in the world. So any change in its structure is not a small decision. It will affect every medical aspirant, from big cities to the smallest villages. The government is cautious, and that is why no final decision has been announced yet. The ministry knows that even a single mistake in such a large exam can shake the trust of millions of families. That is why data analysis is being done with utmost care. Sources say the health ministry will also be consulted because NEET is directly linked to admissions in MBBS, BDS, Ayush, veterinary, and nursing courses. The decision will not only affect students, but also the entire medical education system. This is why today's development is so important. It shows that the government is finally willing to reform NEET after years of controversies, paper leaks, and criticism about fairness. Whether it will happen in 2026 or later is still a question, but one thing is clear: the journey toward an online NEET UG has already begun. Point 2. Will online mode harm rural students? The biggest concern right now is whether shifting NEET UG to CBT mode will actually harm students from rural and remote areas. Let us understand this deeply. India is a country where more than 65% of the population still lives in villages. Many aspirants preparing for NEET come from small towns, districts, and rural areas, where digital infrastructure is not as strong as in metropolitan cities. In offline mode, a student just needs a pen and an OMR sheet. But in online mode, they need a computer, stable electricity, and reliable internet. We all know that in many villages, power cuts are frequent, internet connections are weak, and computer knowledge is very limited. Imagine a student who has studied hard for 2 years but never touched a computer mouse properly. On the day of the exam, if the system hangs or electricity goes off for even 5 minutes, their entire dream of becoming a doctor can collapse. This is the reason the EIKE government is analyzing whether online mode will create an unfair disadvantage for such students. Experts have also pointed out that while JEE aspirants are generally more tech-savvy, NEET aspirants come from a wider range of educational and financial backgrounds. Many girls from rural backgrounds take this exam, and they may not have daily access to computers. The fear is that such students may lose confidence if NEET is shifted to CBT mode without enough preparation time. To solve this, the expert committee has suggested the idea of mobile test centers, specially designed buses fitted with computers and servers, which can travel to rural areas and allow students to take exams under proper conditions. But whether this is practical on a large scale is still a question. Students and parents are also divided. Some urban students support the online mode, saying it will reduce cheating and paper leaks. But rural students fear that it will increase the urban-rural gap even further. This debate is now at the center of the government's analysis. Point 3. Recommendations of the Reform Committee. Now let us talk about what the expert committee has recommended regarding NEET UG reform. This is very important to understand because it shows the direction in which the government may move. According to reports, the committee suggested that NEET should not just shift to CBT mode, but also adopt a multi-session and multi-stage format, similar to JEE Main. This means the exam will be conducted on multiple days, in different shifts, with proper normalization of scores. The committee also said that the number of attempts could be limited, which means a student may not get unlimited chances year after year. This is a huge recommendation and could change the entire preparation strategy of future aspirants. Another recommendation was regarding the allocation of test centers. Right now, many students travel hundreds of kilometers to reach their exam centers. The committee has suggested that every district should have at least one standardized test center, except in very low population districts. The committee also proposed the idea of 1,000 standardized centers across India in government institutions, fully equipped to conduct CBT exams. For rural and hilly areas, they recommended mobile testing centers. This shows how seriously the committee has considered the issue of accessibility. They also highlighted the need for transparent technology, with secure servers and strong monitoring, to ensure that no paper leaks or manipulations happen in CBT mode. In fact, one of the main reasons this reform is being pushed now is the paper leak controversy of 2024, which shook the entire NEET system. The committee believes CBT mode with secure servers can bring transparency and fairness. But implementing these recommendations will require massive investment, planning, and training for students as well as invigilators. That is why the government has not yet taken a final call. Still, these recommendations have set the roadmap for the future of NEET UG. Point 4. The future of NEET UG and students' reactions. Finally, what does the future look like for NEET UG if CBT mode is implemented? This is the question every student is asking today. If the government decides to go ahead, then NEET UG will no longer be a single-day pen and paper exam. It will become a multi-day computer-based test, where students will appear in different sessions. The results will be normalized, and rankings will be calculated fairly. For students, this could mean less pressure on a single day because they will have to adapt to technology, learn how to handle computer-based exams, and practice mock tests online. Coaching institutes will also have to change their teaching style, shifting from OMR sheet practice to online mock exams. Rural students will need special support, otherwise, they may struggle to compete with urban students. This is why the idea of mobile centers is so crucial. Reactions from students and parents are mixed. Some believe CBT will make the exam more modern, secure, and transparent. Others fear that it will create new inequalities. The government is caught between these two opinions. One thing is clear, NEET UG cannot remain untouched by reform. With increasing candidates every year, reaching 22 lakh this time, and more expected in the future, managing such a massive exam in offline mode will always remain risky. CBT mode is the future, but it must be introduced carefully, with enough preparation time,
infrastructure, and training. Until then, students should stay focused on their studies and wait for the official notification. Nothing has been finalized yet, but today's discussion clearly shows that big changes are on the way. The dream of becoming a doctor is too precious to be lost due to technical glitches or poor planning. That is why the government's decision in the coming months will be one of the most crucial in India's education history. Thank you so much for watching till the end. We bring the most reliable NEET updates, fast and first. Don't forget to like, share, and comment your feedback below. See you in the next update. Take care.